Let's talk about TNA because something weird is happening in TNA. So they have this all came about this week. News started dropping, but they have this mass exodus happening where a bunch of their talents are either getting released or just leaving. Well, it actually started a couple weeks ago. So Leon Slater, he didn't announce he was leaving, but there was rumors that his contract was set to be up soon, and he was either going to be going to WWE or AEW. If you remember Leon Slater, he is that Javon Evans clone that wrestled at the Cena's last match thing. So that's when we've seen him on WWE TV. So all signs would be pointing that he would be going to WWE, but he might actually go to AEW, which would be a better fit for him because, like I just said, he's a Javon Evans clone. So we already have one. But it started with that news. And then we fast forward to this week, and we have some talents announcing that they would be, again, either getting released or ending their contract. The first one I saw was Tommy Dreamer. So he was on Busted Open Radio, which is his daily radio show that he does, Busted Open. Shout out to them. They're doing good work over there. I wonder how that 24-hour channel is working, but I guess that's still happening. I don't know. They got a lot of anyway. Don't mean to get off on that tangent on how good they're doing. They're just doing good. But so he was on Busted Open Radio, and we have the clip of him announcing that he was going to be leaving TNA. So let's go ahead and roll that. I think it's like the first. You don't need to play more than a minute of it.
I said it before about being emotional. Excuse me. A lot going on. To steal something from Larry David or Jerry Seinfeld, I'm a really good breaker-upper. All relationships come to an end. And yesterday I had a great conversation with Carlos Silva, and me and TNA are no longer in a relationship. We've mutually agreed to part ways. It's hard. Sorry. I've given so much of my life to that company. I don't have any ill will or malice. I want it to survive, and I want it to be the best it can be. I love this business. It's hard because I'm not going to be able to see the people that I helped. I had a lot of people help me follow my dreams, and I love that part about the business of what I did. It was a 24-hour job. I think I had it for close to 10 years. Off and on, I've been in and out of there. I loved going to work. I did. But everything comes to an end. I'm not crying because I'm mad or I'm emotional, but I know I'll be okay. And I hope TNA will be okay. And
okay. That's good there. This goes on for another 3 minutes. So if you want to watch it, we can leave the link to the whole thing down there in the comments below next to the like button, as usual. But so that's Tommy Dreamer's. He was the first one that I saw. Now he was the not producer, he's the creative guy there. So the one in charge of creative. The exact title of that role is slipping me right now, but yes, he was the creative there. There's rumors, this being from Meltzer, that maybe they're going to be bringing in the road dog, Jesse James.
I heard that too.
So that was the first of the departures. Where he goes next, I don't know. Maybe he can go to AEW or something and help them out. I don't know how his,
maybe you can go to JCW.
Maybe. I don't know how his creative was, so I can't speak to any of that. But doing it 10 years, I guess you're doing something.
He's also a legend. Say what you want. He is a legend.
Yes. Just, I didn't watch TNA week to week, so I couldn't tell you anything about the creative. But that was the first guy on the list. The next guy that I saw was Sami Callihan. Now, this was double the surprise to me because I thought Sami Callihan was already retired. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they had his last match and then he left his boots in the ring. Maybe that wasn't his advertised last match, but I remember him in a match, leaving his boots in the ring, and he was morbidly. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that part of it, but yes, since you put it out there, yes.
Oh, he looked like he ate a box of donuts for that match.
So I thought that he was already done, but apparently he was still there. So he announced that he was going. Well, this being from his Twitter, And he says,
I thought I was going to get called in today to be offered a position in creative. Nope. I've parted ways with TNA. Oh well, onward to the next adventure. Check out my company.
so that was the next name. Now, it is interesting that he says, I thought I was being offered a position in creative. This off the back of, I don't know how close, because again, this is just in the order I saw it. So I don't know how close it was to the Tommy Dreamer news of him being let go. So maybe Tommy Dreamer gets let go and he thinks, oh, they're gonna give me his position. Kind of savage there, if that is the case. But
That's kind of fucked up.
maybe he didn't know. Maybe he's just like, oh, they're gonna put me in creative now to help Tommy Dreamer, who's still there, is what he's thinking. And then he just gets told he's let go. So that was the next name. Got nothing to really add there. Like I said, I already thought I thought he had already been gone because of the scenario I just talked about with him leaving his boots in the ring and
Being obese.
not being in wrestling shape, allegedly looking like Too Tough Tony. But so he was the next one to fall. And then the third person to fall was Tessa Blanchard. Now, she recently just got back in TNA, not 2 years ago, if I want to say. Remember, she had the debut where she was under the mask and took the mask off, and then the internet crashed out because of whatever happened in her past. But she announced that she was also going to be departing. I guess so. Tommy Dreamer said they parted ways. Callahan said they parted ways. Blanchard said they parted ways. So I guess they've all. I said some of them got released, but it just looks like they're all parting ways. Creative or direction disputes, if you will. But we have the clip of Tessa Blanchard's explanation. Again, just like maybe the first minute or so.
Everyone, I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys directly because I know there's been a lot of questions about my future and why I made the decision that I did. When I signed with TNA, the understanding was that I'd be able to continue wrestling here in Mexico with CMLL while also being a part of TNA. For a while, that worked exactly as planned, and it felt like a dream come true, like an absolute blessing. But as time went on and business evolved, partnerships changed, network deals changed, the direction of the company just shifted. And eventually I was asked to make a decision to either continue with TNA or continue with CMLL. And I want to be very clear that I completely understand TNA's position. This is business, and companies have to make decisions that they believe are best for their future. I have absolutely no resentment or ill feelings toward anyone there. In fact, Carlos, Riley, Nicole, like the entire team, they're nothing but great. They were nothing but great to me. In fact, they wanted me to stay, and they made me an offer to continue with the company, and I'm unbelievably blessed for that. TNA, it's been such an important part of my career. It's been such a vital chapter of my career. It's where I became Knockouts champion. It's where I became the first woman to hold a world heavyweight championship. It's where I made history. It's
Almost
where I
killed the
had some
company,
of my
yeah.
favorite matches and created memories that I'll carry with me forever. But beyond the championships and beyond the
I think we're
moments
good.
on television, it's the people there that
It just goes on and for another 5 minutes. So there you go. The gist of it here. Boy, were my wheels turning during that what she was talking about there. I made a connection. I'm gonna lay it out here, but I just made a connection here. Oh man, boy, did I make a connection. I should be like in front of a whiteboard with all the strings and shit. But so what she just said here was that basically she had to choose between TNA and CMLL, and she chose CMLL. I don't know if that's the right choice or not. CMLL is a good big promotion, but
Apparently, they're bigger than AAA.
they are. But it's what she said there. It got the motors, they got the wheels turning, got me to thinking. So TNA is in bed with WWE, who is in bed with AAA. So they didn't want her working with CMLL because of the WWE connection. That's the connection right there.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
I guess for her side, they could have honored pre-existing arrangements, but new leadership comes in, new rules, and the relationship, that's a big conflict of interest.
So WWE's relationship again with TNA is just going. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe it is good for them, but it doesn't. It just seems like WWE is clearly winning this part of this partnership.
Well, remember, they basically turned TNA into a little feeder system.
Yes, they did, and this makes it even more with that. But I just made that jump where they didn't want her working with CMLL, and it just has to tie back to the AAA thing. But yes, that is Tessa Blanchard, who is also departing TNA. And then the other person, not announced, but the other person who's rumored to be leaving soon is Mike Santana, who should be noted is currently the TNA World Champion. Also, should be noted that he has a championship match at Slammiversary coming up here in a few weeks against Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler. So it depends on, I guess, if it's going to depend on if he loses this title or not. But his contract is supposed to be expiring in July, and then the match is at the end of June. I think it's like next week. Slammiversary is next week, so he's defending the title next week, and then his contract expires after that. So that's the next departure. So it just begs the question: is what is going on? Is it just they are kind of hinting at it? Seems like TNA is just going in a different direction. Seems like they all just had a choice to make, and they made a choice. So it wasn't just like, oh, we're firing. It wasn't like a Black Friday with WWE. This is all like, hey, this is the direction we're going in. Are you on board or not?
Yeah, it's definitely the change in leadership, like she said. Usually takes a while for the new new leadership to implement their shit. That usually leads to what's happening now, either mass exoduses or mass firings, so they can get their people in, like Rogue.
Yeah. They're really turning it into a WWE feeder system. Although Rogue didn't want to have anything to do with WWE anymore.
Well, I didn't think he didn't want anything to do with the creative process. Their creative process. You got fucking Joe Park clapping up the ladder spot.
Which ended LA Knight's push, by the way.
Sure did.
You fuck up that ladder spot, you're done. He probably still gets looks from Mr. Park.
LA Knight goes to sit and eat, and Joe gets up and goes to another table.
Yeah.
Without saying a word.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's still mad at me or what's that? Someone new. What's that about? Well, it's a long story.
I fucked up the ladder spot.
Yeah, he just says money in the bank. Oh, you didn't do the ladder spot, did you? But yeah, I was initially thinking, is like TNA, are they getting ready to just flat out get bought by WWE? But maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just changing direction. Hearing everybody now just sounds like that's what it is. Is they're changing direction
again.
Yeah. Obviously, they can't be having with the CMLL because they got AAA. And it's more apparent because there was like a Undertaker. He was doing an interview with Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio was talking about how starting. He was basically when he started, he was CMLL, and Undertaker was like that because it's their competition now. So, yeah, all ties in now. But yeah, here's the latest and greatest for TNA. Again, they have Slammiversary coming up, so we'll see what happens there, and we'll see what happens going forward. But let us know what you think about it, and if there's any news, we will make sure to update you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.